Xiaomi has come out with a whole new tier of Pocophone. This is the Poco F7 Ultra. So is this the flagship you've been waiting for? I'm Will for JSM Arena, and let's see what the Poco F7 Ultra is all about in our full review. We're used to seeing Pocophones with flagship-killing specs, but now there's the F7 Ultra, a full-on flagship model. Unlike what we see on flagship killers, here you get the newest cutting-edge chipset and a set of high-end cameras. Design-wise, the F7 Ultra doesn't stray far from its Poco roots, at least in this colorway. The glass back is Poco yellow, and you get gold accents on the black camera bump. The aluminum frame is matte black too, continuing the theme. Overall, the phone feels solid and premium. The F7 Ultra has IP68 rated ingress protection against submersion in water. The display of the Poco F7 Ultra is a 6.67-inch OLED with a QHD resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate, not unlike last year's Poco F6 Pro, which was the top model back then. But this time around, the screen is protected by something called Shield Glass, much in the same vein as the Xiaomi 15 series. Another change is that there's been an improvement in brightness. We measured a maximum of around 800 nits with the manual slider, and this can boost up to over 1500 nits in auto mode when in bright sun. But other than that, this panel has the same great sharpness as last year's top Pocophone, and there's perks like 12-bit color and support for Dolby Vision and HDR10+ video playback. Swiping and scrolling on this screen are smooth thanks to the 120Hz refresh rate, but there's no LTPO tech here. While the screen is idling, it can dial down to a low of 60Hz to save energy. For audio, there's a pair of stereo speakers. They have very good loudness, and the sound is nicely balanced. We've heard better bass, but still the lows are decent and the mids are nice, as you can hear for yourself in our comparison tool. You'll find a link down below. You can wake up and unlock the Poco F7 Ultra with an ultrasonic under-display fingerprint reader. It's very responsive. The phone has an IR blaster on board, which means you can use it to control other appliances with. And the phone comes with 256 or 512 gigs of storage on board. That isn't expandable through microSD. The interface of the phone is Xiaomi's new HyperOS 2 on top of Android 15. Compared to the previous version, it's largely the same, just with some more refined aesthetics and under-the-hood optimizations. You have Google's Gemini AI assistant on board with plenty of functionality. And not only that, there are plenty of other AI features too, under the umbrella of what Xiaomi calls Hyper AI. For example, there are AI functions in Notes for working with text. These include summaries, proofreading, translation, and changing the layout. You'll find AI-based tools in the gallery too, like AI Sky, which can change the sky in your photo to whatever you'd like to see. Other AI features include an interpreter for real-time translation and subtitles available within supported apps. And the Poco F7 Ultra comes with the promise of 4 years of major software updates and 6 years of security patches. Like other 2025 Android flagships, the Poco F7 Ultra packs the latest Qualcomm chipset, the Snapdragon 8 Elite. It's quite powerful and a significant jump from previous Poco phones, which typically use year-old chipsets for the sake of cutting costs. On top of that, the Poco F7 Ultra has a dedicated graphics chip called the Vision Boost D7. It's meant to even further improve the experience when gaming or playing videos. In benchmarks, the F7 Ultra performs as expected. The results are great, fitting in at the top of the charts amongst other current flagships. And when using the phone, it feels responsive and powerful. The phone boasts an advanced passive cooling system, but despite that, the Poco F7 Ultra did display significant thermal throttling during our prolonged stress tests. At 5300 mAh, the battery here is larger than last year's Poco F6 Pro. We see a considerable improvement in the battery life too, with the Poco F7 Ultra scoring a good active use score of 13 hours and 32 minutes in our tests. There's again support for 120-watt charging, and a charger may or may not come included depending on the market. We had the charger bundled, and with it we were able to charge the Poco F7 Ultra from 0 to 60% in 15 minutes, and a full charge took just half an hour. There's also support for 50-watt wireless charging here. And now onto the cameras. The Poco F7 Ultra has 3 on the back, and it's a more advanced setup than previous models. Rather than a tiny macro camera, now there's a dedicated 2.5 times telephoto cam, which actually can take macro shots too. During the day, the F7 Ultra captures great photos with this main camera. Images have plenty of pop, both in terms of contrast and saturation, but it's not too extreme. Dynamic range is excellent, and white balance proved dependable. Detail is generally very good too, but a bit artificially rendered in textures like grass. You can also count on the Poco for some excellent portraits, whether in photo mode or in the dedicated portrait mode. The shots taken with 2 times digital zoom are very good, though random fine detail is a bit of a struggle. Low light photos from the F7 Pro's main camera are excellent for the class. Exposures are well balanced, giving us well-preserved highlights while avoiding dark, gloomy shadows. Colors remain lively, and the white balance is quite reliable. Detail is generally great as well, with only minor softness in the darker areas. The 2.5 times zoom camera of the Poco F7 Ultra is actually pretty good. It produces nicely detailed images with excellent dynamic range. Colors are on point as well. Shots of people also look great. This is a nice way to take portraits. Zooming in further at 5 times, the results are still relatively clean and sharp. And this telephoto cam has the ability to focus close, to take macro close-up shots. This is a standout feature you usually find on more expensive camera phones, and the photos come out excellent. At night, the telephoto cam produces photos with a good amount of detail, but the contrast leaves a bit more to be desired, at least when it comes to shadows. Also, the white balance was not as reliable as with the main camera. The F7 Ultra's ultrawide camera is quite capable, producing wide shots that have good detail, great dynamic range, and excellent colors. At night, the ultrawide puts up an alright performance. Detail is a little on the soft side, but colors are well preserved, and dynamic range is quite good. Selfies come from a 32 megapixel front-facing cam at the native resolution. They're a bit on the soft side, and the colors are a bit muted, but the dynamic range is great. The Poco F7 Ultra can record video in up to 8K with the main cam, 4K with the telephoto, and just 1080p with the ultrawide and selfie cameras. The main camera's videos are excellent, with plenty of detail, and it's rendered quite nicely too. Dynamic range and colors are also on point. The 2.5 times zoomed footage is more into good territory. It's a bit less sharp and is a touch overexposed. The ultrawide's 1080p clips are alright considering the resolution, with nice colors and dynamic range. Electronic stabilization on the F7 Ultra is excellent, producing very steady footage, with just a few minor hiccups while walking. And in the dark, the main camera's footage has so-so sharpness, but it's pretty good in terms of dynamic range and color rendition. So there you have it, guys. With the Poco F7 Ultra, Xiaomi has taken the Poco brand out of flagship killer territory, offering a model for people who want to spend a bit more money. On top of the features you expect from Poco, you also get a much more powerful chipset, better battery life, and a pretty nice set of cameras. They're not top-tier camera phone level, but they're still quite good. All in all, if you're shopping in this price range, the Poco F7 Ultra is quite solid all around, and it's worth recommending. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're looking for alternatives on our channel, you can check out our reviews of the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE and the Xiaomi 14. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.